Have you tried these new viral smash burger tacos? Hi, everybody. I'm Rob, and this is Stormcrow Overland, where we talk about going on adventures, road tripping, camping, and just generally getting out and enjoying life. And on this week's episode, you're gonna join me here on my back porch, and we're gonna try making a meal I made at camp last night. Came out really good. Figured we'll go ahead and try it here. I'll show y'all. As usual, I was just enjoying myself so much at camp that it just didn't feel me trying the new recipe out. It's these weird viral smash burger tacos I've been seeing on TikTok and YouTube and different stuff like that. Tried them on the trip for the first time. Came out really good. I didn't do the recipe quite right. Got a couple little tweaks we'll be trying this time to make it a little bit better. But overall, it was a great experience. And realistically, the main reason I didn't film was it was dark. It was too dark to film by the time I got hungry. So couldn't really film if I wanted to. But we're gonna kind of recreate it here. I'm gonna use all the same stuff I used at camp. I use my camp stove, my camp spatula, all that normal stuff. No cheating. We're just gonna do it here on the back porch, and you'll kind of see how it goes. And hopefully, it's something y'all be wanting to try. All right, let's go over and try cooking. All right, so we're gonna go and get the grill lit. Get started real quick. All right, so we're going to be using my Camp Chef Rainier 2X. Absolutely love this stove. I really should do a video on it, but I haven't yet. So probably look for that coming soon. While this heats up, I'm going to go ahead and give you all a little hint. At the end of this video, probably going to introduce someone new. Don't worry, it's not Angry Rob. He's in the corner for the week, so we don't have to worry about him. But there is someone new that's part of the Stormcrow Overland family. You may see them running around in the background of the video, so just don't be alarmed. Hopefully we'll be able to kind of introduce him at the end if he wants to participate. So we're going to give this a second to heat up. This is really simple. You don't need a lot of fancy equipment. You need a stove with some kind of flat top. You can even just use a skillet if that's what you've got. This is easy because it's got this built-in griddle. If you've got a Blackstone or something like that, it works great. Just any kind of nice hot flat surface. You don't really need a lot of ingredients. You basically need basic burger stuff and tortillas. And then equipment-wise, I'm using the stove with the skillet, spatula, and then you need something you can kind of press down with for the actual smash part of the smash taco. This is generally is my adult beverage cup, but for this, it works great for this. It's what I used at camp the other day. Luckily, I camped before I started doing the adult beverage stuff, so it was all nice and ready to go. Okay, so this is getting pretty hot. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of hamburger meat, probably slightly less than what you would normally use for a hamburger. A little, for this, maybe a little bit less than a quarter of a pound. We're going to make a ball out of it, and then we're going to put it down on the griddle and then smush it with the tortilla on top. The idea is you want enough meat that when you smash it, it spreads out to about the size of the tortilla. You want pretty good coverage, but you want it to be pretty thin. Because what we're going to do is once we do that, we're going to melt some cheese on here, put like, not taco toppings, we're going to put more like burger toppings on here, and then fold it up and eat it. Even though it's got burger toppings, we're going to eat it like a taco. It sounds weird, but I tried it the other day, and it was delicious. So, the only other ingredient I forgot to mention is you're going to want to season it some. Don't let the taco part fool you. I would not use like some kind of taco or Southwest or Mexican seasoning. I would use more burger seasoning, which for me is generally just salt, pepper, and garlic, maybe some peppers. And so in this case, I'm going to be using the Overland Spices Triple Locked. I love this stuff. Tate, who runs Overland Spices, great guy. He's helped support some of the local events we've done here in Oklahoma. And this is great because it's salt, pepper, garlic, and some peppers. So it's everything that I normally would use for this, or normally use for burgers or steaks, all in one bottle, all ready to go. Now I don't have to carry multiple things. So, like I said, now that this is plenty hot, I'm actually probably going to turn it down just a little bit so we don't burn ourselves here. Let me get some of this hamburger meat out. Like I said, we're going to get a decent size chunk. If you were trying to be scientific about it, it's probably about 1/5 of a pound. You know, 1/4 of a pound probably would be too much, but kind of, a little less than that gives you an idea. All right, so make a very, very loose ball out of it. And we're going to drop it right on there, and it should start sizzling as soon as we drop it. So then we're going to take our tortilla and start pressing that down. And as we press it, it's really going to help start searing that meat. And yes, I realize I just handled the meat, the raw meat. I would wash my hands and all that, especially if I was actually serving this people. I'd be washing my hands. I'll wash my cup when I'm done. But we're going to smush that down. And like I said, we want it pretty thin. And we really want it out to about the edges of the tortilla. We kind of want full meat coverage. Now, you can use, if you've got like an actual burger press or something, or kind of griddle press, you can use that. I don't normally carry one, so I just kind of thought about what was heat resistant and flat that I already had, and this is what came to mind. So you keep a little pressure on it, at least at the beginning. It creates what's called a Meyer effect. It's just the way the meat sears, and it gets really good flavor in it. You don't, because the meat's so thin, you don't really have to worry about flipping it and cooking the other side. It's so thin, it's going to go ahead and cook through. Also, you might notice I didn't put any oil down or any butter or anything. The natural fats from the hamburger meat are going to kind of release, and that's the oil that's going to be there. We're going to give this a couple of minutes. Shouldn't be too long at all, really. Probably, this seems a little hot, so I'm going to turn it down a little more. And we'll check it in a minute, but so what we're going to do is cook this, and once the bottom gets a really good sear, get some of that like dark crunchy spots on it, we're going to flip it over for just a little bit. This is going to take several minutes, though. It's going to take a little bit. Try and get that meat to cook all the way through. We're going to flip it over just a little bit and kind of fry this side of the tortilla in that grease from the burger meat. Makes the taco shell, the tortilla, get a little crunchy, just adds a little something extra to it, soaks up some of that flavor. And speaking of the tortilla, I'm normally a corn tortilla guy for a lot of things, but there's certain things you need a flour tortilla for. Like for me, breakfast tacos are not the same without a flour tortilla. This is one of those times I would recommend a flour tortilla. I think it's just going to work a little bit better. It's going to be more burgery, if that makes any sense. I hope it does. I mean, if all you had was a corn tortilla, I'm sure you could make it work, but so I just recommend flour for this one. So we're going to go ahead and kind of pick it up and try to look and see how it's doing. It is almost there. I'd give it another 30 seconds or so, but it's looking really good. And then once we flip it, I'll make sure I kind of hold it at the camera so you can see it and get a good idea of what we're looking for here. But make sure it's nice and pressed down. And yes, I know normally you don't want to press down on meats you're cooking because you're going to release some of that juice. It's okay in this instance because the meat's going to be so thin anyway. Plus, we're going to flip it, and any of that leftover juice is going to get soaked up by the tortilla, so you're still going to get all that flavor. So don't be worried about that. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look again. Okay, so yeah, that's what we're looking for. Hopefully you can get a good shot of that on the camera. Probably still didn't use quite enough meat. It's really hot, so I'm going to go put it down real quick. But here, I'll hold it up the camera again. So you can already see it's nice and juicy. It's cooked all the way through already. Good and good caramelization here. So this is going to be delicious. So I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to turn it down pretty low because the other side is going to cook really quick. You're really just toasting the tortilla. There's not a whole lot to it. But before we put it back down, so we'll let the griddle cool down just a little bit, and we'll go ahead and add our seasoning. So this is a little humid out here, so this is kind of caked up just a little bit. Sprinkle, get a little salt, pepper, garlic, and some peppers on there. Okay, that's still pretty hot, so we're going to have to watch this. It's going to go pretty quick. So we're going to drop this back in the exact same spot. You probably can't see on camera, but you can see where some of the grease kind of released right here, where it was before. So we're going to drop it in that same spot. And like I said, this will not take long. We're going to do that. But while it's going, we're going to get kind of that, start adding some of our burger toppings. We're going to start with shredded cheese. Now, the other night when I did this, I used some sharp cheddar that I had, just because it's what I had. I thought it sounded really good. This time I'm using some Colby Jack. Really, you can use whatever you have, whatever you'd want on a burger. Pepper Jack would probably be great. Provolone, maybe even Gouda. I don't know exactly how Gouda would work with this, but whatever you like on a burger or whatever you're carrying anyway for the rest of your meals is going to go great on this. And this is something else I like to put on there. Let me check our tortilla real quick while I'm don't get distracted. Yeah, it's good. I'm going to go ahead and turn this burner off. It's going to continue to cook a little bit because it's still obviously hot, but this is a secret that I use a lot when I'm on trips. For things I want bacon for, whether it's mainly for sandwiches. I want like a turkey sandwich with some bacon on it, but I don't want to stop and cook bacon all the time. So I buy, not bacon bits, but these like Oscar Mayer and some other brands make these of bacon pieces. They're pre-cooked. They're not the same as real bacon. I mean, they are real bacon, but it's not the same idea. You know, you don't get the same taste and same texture out of it. But on something like this or something like a sandwich, it gives you a little extra crunch. It gives you some of that kind of smoky bacon flavor. Kind of helps imitate a bacon cheeseburger. So I'm going to put a little bit of that on there. Probably need to go ahead and pull this off real quick. Oh, that's looking real good. So yeah, we're going to pull it off, put it on our cutting board. And then, like I said, we've got our tortilla, our burger, cheese, and then for me, some bacon pieces. And then the last thing that I put on here, now, if you really like lettuce and tomatoes and onions and all that stuff on your burger, this is the time. Go ahead and add all that. I'm not real big on all that on my burger. I'm usually pretty simple kind of meat and cheese guy. But if you are going to do any adding vegetables to this, because just of the form factor and the way we're going to fold it, instead of doing like big, long pieces of onions and stuff, or big slices of tomato, for both of those, I would dice them up pretty small. Do the onions almost like McDonald's style, where they're diced up real small. That way you can sprinkle them on there more like a taco. And the same thing with the lettuce, maybe kind of shred it up pretty small and put it on. And then finally, you just add whatever condiment you would like. If you ketchup or mustard or mayo or whatever it is you like on your burger, add that. Me, I like just a little bit of mayo, so just a little bit. Don't want too much. And then this is probably cooled down enough that I can handle it without burning myself. Just try to show you underneath. I got a nice toasting on the bottom of the tortilla. It's almost like toasting the bun with a burger or frying it, making it like a taco shell, depending on how you want to look at it. I guess it's whether you see this as a taco or a burger. I don't know if it's a burger style taco or a burger in taco form, or I don't know. It depends on however you see it, but basically at this point you just fold it in half like a taco and get some nice juicy parts dripping. That's good. Good sign. Take a bite. That is delicious. I would definitely be happy with that at camp. Like I said, I was the other night, so that's why I decided to make it again and share with y'all. This is awesome. I'm sure y'all don't want to sit here and watch me eat, so I'm going to stop that, but excellent right there. So I'm going to put that there for a minute, and then we're going to take a break, and I'll come back, and we'll kind of wrap up. 1 second. All right, so I know this is really my first kind of camp cooking video. We did do the making corn tortillas video. Let me know what you think. Is this a good idea? Do you like these videos? Is this a recipe you think you'll try? Let me comment. Let me know if it's something you think you'd give it a shot, or if it's too complicated, or too many ingredients, or are you one of those people that just wants to open a Mountain House meal or a can of SpaghettiOs, or are you one of those like fancy, gonna make everything, Overland X Marco style, or fire to fork guy. I love Harry at Fire to Fork. Love his videos. It's kind of him and Marco have both what kind of inspired me to get out and make better food at camp. I mean, originally I'd have been happy to take a loaf of bread and a jar of peanut butter. And there's nothing wrong with that, and I still do that sometimes. But if I'm going to go out to enjoy myself and enjoy my time with friends, why would I not have good food with it too? I still love peanut butter sandwich every once in a while, but it's nice to be able to whip up something, just something different, something like this. And then the neat thing is, it's something I can try on my own at camp with my buddies. And if it doesn't work, okay, we can eat some peanut butter. But if it comes out good, it's something I can take home and be like, hey, wife, hey, kid, try this cool recipe I found online. And then they can either think I'm a huge dork for trying TikTok recipes, or they may think I'm a hero for finding something awesome. Well, before I wrap up, I kind of hinted there was a new member of the Stormcrow Overland family. A couple of y'all have heard me talk about him in real life, but the rest of y'all on the channel haven't, so you've kind of seen him in the background. Let me see if I can get him. Rocco, come here. Come here. Come here, Rocco. Come here. Come on, get up. Okay, let's see. He doesn't want to get up right now. But this is Rocco. Hopefully I am holding the camera where you can see him. He is our new rescue dog. Hopefully the camera's still good. He's a true rescue. We found him wandering our neighborhood one day. Me and my wife were out for a walk, and this part Rottweiler, part Pit Bull dog just came trotting up like we were his best friend. And he followed us home while we were out on our evening walk. And the whole time I'm in protective mode. I'm like, oh, this is not the kind of dog I want following me and my wife home in the dark, because we were walking kind of late. He didn't care. He just followed us right to the house. And my wife is the kindest soul you'll ever meet, and especially when it comes to animals. So she was like, hey, can we bring him in for the night and then try to figure out a home for him somewhere tomorrow or something? And I was like, no. We have an elderly person lives in our house. We got a teenage daughter. We've got another dog who's 14 years old and doesn't. Our other 14-year-old dog can't see real well, can't hear real well, doesn't handle things moving around real fast. It just doesn't like it because she's getting old and her senses aren't what they should be or what they used to be. I was like, there's no way we're not doing this. But luckily, someone else in our neighborhood decided to take him in. Take the dog in. We listed him all the Facebook sites in town, trying to make sure he didn't have an owner that was looking for him. He wasn't chipped. We worked with one of the local rescues to kind of double check with them, and then we also got his shots and got him fixed and all that. And our other friend in the neighborhood was fostering him, trying to find a home. And my wife kept bugging me. We should get him. And while he was at the other lady's house being a foster, we were getting kind of updates about his behavior and how he interacted with other dogs and stuff. And seemed to be a super sweet dog. We actually brought him over for a play date with our dog to see how they do. Got along pretty good. There were some normal dog trying to figure out who's in charge things, but nothing bad. So we made the decision to go ahead and adopt him. We weren't huge on the name the foster had given him, so we renamed him. We named him Rocco. According to the vet, he's probably 3 or 4 years old. He's mostly Rottweiler with some Pit Bull and some other stuff mixed into. We don't know what all of it is. He looks kind of scary. He's all muscle. He's a little stubborn, but for the most part, since we've gotten him, he's a big baby. And part of this probably comes from being a rescue, and he must have had some kind of hard life before, because if I've ever met a dog with PTSD, it's this one. He's got some issues we're working through, but overall, the sweetest dog in the world. It's been interesting, though. We've had him for a couple of weeks, and the more comfortable he gets with us and his environment, and just in general, and realizing that he's in a home where he's going to be cared for, and his personality is coming out more, which is fun to see, but it's also a challenge when it comes to keeping him trained and stuff. And for the first couple of weeks we had him, he would not walk on a leash to save his life. And now this afternoon, he jumped in our lap barking because it was walk time and he wanted to go. But hopefully he will end up being an excellent adventure companion. We've gone from not liking car rides at all to tolerating them to almost maybe being excited about them. So we're getting there, making steps. We're making sure we're going to react right around people and other dogs. The biggest thing we're seeing so far is he's not aggressive towards other people and dogs. He's very curious and friendly, and he wants to go and meet everyone. And he expects everyone that we meet to come up and pet him, and every dog we meet to be his best friend. But he doesn't look friendly. He looks like a big 80-pound Rottweiler, and his head is just humongous. I wish he would come over here and get in the shot. Yeah. But he is scary looking, but he's a big baby. And so far, we've really enjoyed having him in the house. Hopefully one day, and it's probably going to be a while, but hopefully one day he will actually get to go on some of our adventures with us. We've tried taking him out to one of the lakes, try to get him used to water and stuff like that. We'll see. Maybe one day we may have to try a little test where we set a tent up in the backyard and try to sleep in the tent with him and see what he thinks about that. But yeah, that's Rocco. He's a really good boy. Well, that's really about it. It's getting dark. Hopefully the video's not too dark. Really curious to know if y'all want to, any of y'all end up trying this recipe and seeing what y'all think. Don't really have a whole lot left for y'all other than that. Hey, it's summer. Get out and do summer things. Have fun. Get in the water. Get some sun, or whatever it is that you do in summer. Get out. Enjoy it. Have fun. Sometimes you have to go out and get. Oh, I can't do the ending. What am I doing? I am tired. It's been a long weekend. If you're watching this on YouTube, please realize we also release the audio as a podcast. You can find it wherever good podcasts are found. Just search Stormcrow Overland. If you're listening to this as a podcast, you won't get to see the interesting footage of Rocco trying to hide because he doesn't want to be in the camera shot. But you can find it on YouTube at Stormcrow Overland. You can also find us on Instagram at Stormcrow Overland. There's a theme here. I haven't mentioned this very often because I don't check it a whole lot. We also have an email account if you're ever trying to get a hold of me that way. It's pretty easy to figure out. stormcrowoverland@gmail.com. Feel free to reach out to me that way too. I think I have it. Well, that forwards to my regular email, so I'll see it. But if not, I'll make sure I check it every once in a while. But that's really all I have for you this week. If you like what you're seeing, I would love to build a community of like-minded individuals. So, like, comment, subscribe, follow, any of that kind of stuff, podcast reviews on Apple, whatever it is. I would really appreciate it if you got any kind of questions for me, reach out through one of those many different things. Get a hold of me. I'd love to hear from you, even if it is just to say hi and let me know you're enjoying the content, or if you've got a question or anything like that. And now that I've done all that, I can go ahead and say, sometimes you have to go out and get lost and maybe try a new recipe or find a new adventure friend before you can find yourself. Thanks for watching.